Welcome to the NineSixFourTwo podcast. This is your host, Mr. Number 9.
And this is The Fool.
This is where me and The Fool give our
Unqualified and unrequested
ramblings on the various issues in the world of sport.
or something like that.
Hello everyone, we are here to talk about this thing that we always talk about that nobody wants us to talk about.
Yes.
We're going to talk about oval ball sports.
Yeah. Say that and it's very true. It's probably our least listened to episodes.
Asterisks, NB, disclaimer, we're not going to talk about Gaelic rules or Canadian football.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of those two oval ball codes, my apologies.
Yeah.
Just not enough time.
Just not enough time.
Not enough time to review the CFL season and the GFL season.
Yeah. Maybe we need to start looking at those codes and up our listenership in Canada and Ireland though.
Yeah. Definitely, it's worth looking at new markets, obviously.
Yeah.
And we'll see what the future of the CFL would be if Canada was to become the 51st state. Huh? We'll find out.
Yeah.
But
we might actually find out. So.
Yeah. We're gonna start with the code, the national code.
Yeah.
The country's most popular game, Rugby Union, the 15-man version.
Yeah.
So we had an incredible season of Super Rugby, which somehow ended with both the Crusaders and Chiefs again reaching the finals.
Somehow.
Noticing a pattern about Super Rugby finals.
To be fair, it was Blues Chiefs last year, and maybe the year before that as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's been a couple of years
No, I
since
think
the Crusaders
before.
won.
Is it? Fair enough.
At least
But
2
once
years.
again,
Yeah.
the Crusaders are finally once again. Oh, you mean the 2 years that Scott Robertson's not been the manager of the Crusaders? Suddenly, they take a while to return to their winning ways.
Yeah, those 2 years. And also the 2 years where they lost a lot of their really good All Blacks as well, and we're clearly in rebuilding.
Yeah. I'm sure it's unrelated.
Unrelated. But yet, in those years, the Chiefs still couldn't win. We had to lose to the Blues in those years, so go figure.
Yep. Hey, the Blues, as I like to tell, as I used to troll Crusaders fans in the 90s, was like the Blues are the preferred champions of Super Rugby.
Yeah, that's the way my kids tell it too.
At least that's what New Zealand Rugby thinks.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel that way sometimes.
Like, how often do they try really, really hard to make the Blues have a viable team? And, like, this is how much the Blues suck. It was really obvious that that everyone in New Zealand Rugby really wanted the Blues to do really, really well, so that the Auckland would have a good rugby franchise.
Yeah.
And we could have a transnational rivalry with the Blues and the Crusaders, which is a real derby, not like frickin' Chiefs and Blues.
Yeah, no. Blues Crusaders is the actual derby in New Zealand rugby. Like, sorry, New Zealand rugby, there are no others. Well, maybe Otago, Canterbury, we'll give that, but that's NPC only. And same with Auckland, North Harbour.
Otago,
NPC
Canterbury
only.
is 100% a rivalry. If Highlanders, Crusaders don't care.
No, yes, I mean NPC only, not Super Rugby.
Yeah, because most Highlanders and Crusaders fans, if their team goes out, they'll support the other mainland team.
Yeah.
There's not a real rivalry. It's not like it's more like Southland and Otago, right? Southland fans will support Otago and vice versa when their teams are out. They're not actually local rivals.
Well, it's like it's like a friendly rivalry, like.
It's a friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
Versus like, say, Taranaki and King Country. They're not doesn't matter. They're in different divisions.
No. This is,
That game's a sellout every year if they happen to play a Ranfurly Shield match.
Yeah, definitely.
In Tiamudu.
Yeah.
Or-
No, yeah, 100%.
Oh,
Like, if
okay.
Taranaki has the Rainfully Shield at the beginning of the season, you know there's a King Country challenge, and it's going to be.
Yeah, there's got to be a
crazy.
country challenge. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. And like, it's not like I'm not talking about the obvious ones. Of course, Waikato and Auckland are rivals. Of course, Wellington and Wellington and Auckland are rivals. But like, did you know that Thames Valley and Counties Manukau are rivals?
I 100% know that. I'm part of that rivalry, thank you very much. Because that goes across all sports codes. Same with Counties Manukau and South Canterbury. That goes across all sports codes.
Or how Hawke's Bay are really big rivals with Bay of Plenty.
Yeah. Well, that's just straight up Battle of the Bays, right? Like, they've got to prove which one's the better bay.
Yeah, and there's obviously also Wairarapa and Poverty Bay.
Yeah.
The old rivalry.
The old rivalry. And that one, yeah, it's the old rivalry. And it's perhaps the least obvious one, even though it's been around the longest.
Yes. And, like, it's weird that obviously Auckland and Christchurch have a rivalry. They're the big cities in each island respectively. Yeah. And like, sure, historically that made sense, but that's not made sense for the last 50 years. Auckland is like a city.
Yeah.
Christchurch is a big town by international standards. It's not even a big town, it's a small town.
Yeah.
By international standards. Like, and Auckland is New Zealand's primate city. It's more than twice as big as the next biggest city in terms of population.
Yeah. Well, it's like a third, maybe more than a third of the entire population of the country, so... Yeah.
And realistically, if you think of how the Golden Triangle is basically Greater Auckland, like reaching up to like Tauranga, and like there's literally people I know who commute from Tauranga and Hamilton. Like Hamilton used to happen in the 90s.
Yeah.
But that used to be like, oh yeah, this guy travels from Hamilton, he's crazy. Now it's like, oh yeah, travels from Hamilton.
Yeah, no, that's just standard now. Tauranga feels a little crazy to me, like to
but
actually
Tauranga
commute from
feels
Tauranga.
a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But like, as in like they'll go to a job that's in maybe Papakura.
Yeah. That would make some sense that they're doing that. But still, that's a good 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the same as from Papakura to Central City in rush hour. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But also, like I said, it really much depends on your job. So, Auckland has got these rivalries, but we have technically got 2 Auckland-based teams in Super Rugby. And for a long time, the Whipping Boys were the Chiefs, but they're now one of the most successful franchises. I think them and the Blues are the second most successful franchise. They've both got, I think, although the Blues have 4, I think the Chiefs have
2, only the 2.
Only the 2. But that's still like one more than Wellington or Otago.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we may now have made more finals than anybody but the Blues and Crusaders.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Bulls when they were included, but we might get close to them now.
Yeah, the Bulls have won 3 in a row, so they're their pedigree in this Super Rugby is...
Yeah. I was more thinking just reaching finals, because the Chiefs have lost a lot of finals. A lot of finals.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. But they did win a final before they lost a final, so they didn't have years of like, oh, we came so close and we lost. They never got that pain that Highlanders fans got.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we won the first final we made, and then we lost a couple, and then we won it again, and then we've just lost.
You guys went back to back, I thought.
I thought there was a gap in between, but I may be wrong. I thought there was a 1 year gap where Crusaders, like we made the final, lost to we beat the Crusaders. Beat the Crusaders? Beat whoever we beat, lost to Crusaders, beat the Crusaders. But I'd have to look it back up. I may have got it around the wrong way.
But we either way, the Super Rugby season, I think, didn't really prepare us for what we thought was going to happen in the international season. Now,
Yeah.
ironically, we're not going to start with New Zealand because I think it's more interesting to look at this from the team that looked like they were in the bottom of the barrel, couldn't reach rock bottom, couldn't go any further down. Australia.
Yeah.
They obviously it looked like they were first round. They started off with the Lions series. Um, they came. They put up a good performance against the Lions in their first game, and they nearly won the second game, and
Yeah.
then they won the third game, which was like, okay, that's better than we expected from Australia.
Mm.
They would then go on to go to Ellis Park and
Yeah.
smash South Africa after
I
going
know.
22-3 down.
I know, it's crazy.
One of the best things of Test rugby I've ever seen. I've only watched highlights of that game, and
Yeah.
to be fair, the highlights made Australia look imperious in that second half.
Yeah.
Um,
But, I mean, yeah.
so
Doing that to that South African team in the second half, which is like the South Africa's time, right? They got the bomb squad.
Yeah.
That's part of it. They soak up the pressure in the first half, and then they come in the second half, bring in their subs, which is just they're crazy and they're really good, and they just overpower you at the end. And
Yep.
they do that really well. And Australia just outplayed them in the second half, and it's what makes it even crazier. You say Australia up till last year, you would think, oh, and then put up a good battle against the Lions, and then doing that to South Africa in Ellis Park in the second half, crazy work.
like one of the big events of World Rugby this year, and then Argentina hosted New Zealand and lost 24-41. So it looked good for New Zealand in the first week of the Rugby Championships.
Yeah,
Comfortably top of the table, both New Zealand and Australia, and they had the bonus points as well. South Africa then beat Australia in the match in Cape Town,
yeah,
which is so I felt like, oh yep, this is back to form again. South Africa are back to normal, but in another massive blow, Argentina in Buenos Aires managed to take the win against New Zealand. The first time they've beaten New Zealand in Argentina.
In Argentina, yeah.
They have beaten us other places.
They've beaten us last year.
Yeah, they beaten us here last
in
year.
Wellington.
Yeah. Then, so it was everything to play for. Every team had one win. Argentina then, Australia then managed to sneak in a win against Argentina at home.
Yeah.
Showing that they've really improved because they haven't beaten Argentina in a long time.
Yeah.
New Zealand then sneak in a victory against South Africa at Eden Park.
Yeah.
Obviously, the old fortress being what it is.
Yeah, Adi Savier's home. That's what that was. That game was Adi Savir. Like, especially at the end, he was not allowing them to win anything. He was like, no, don't care. He threw everything at that to make sure that win stayed. And it was amazing to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Then Argentina also came back to beat Australia in the Allianz Stadium in Sydney. And New Zealand was in the follow-up game in Wellington, got smashed by South Africa.
Yeah.
Absolutely returned to form.
Oh, that New Zealand there just self-imploded, right? They just didn't know what to do, and South Africa just ran them over. It was crazy.
Yep, this is a South African team you can't give anything to.
No.
But more importantly, New Zealand then went on to take this really hopeful Australian team on and smash them.
Yeah, once again back at Eden Park.
In Eden Park.
Yeah.
As anyone would predict would happen, because it's Eden Park and it's Australia, and they haven't won there since the 90s.
Possibly even earlier. Like, New Zealand hasn't lost at Eden Park since they lost to the French in '95. I don't think they've lost to
Yeah,
Australia
that's
since
true.
maybe the 80s. Like, it is ridiculously long ago since Australia's won in Eden Park.
Yeah. And that actually they might have won in the World Cup in '87 without playing New Zealand.
Yes. I think that
Like
might...
that win might have not even been against New Zealand.
Yeah.
That last time they won in Eden Park.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. I think the last time they won in Eden Park wasn't even against New Zealand. It was against someone else.
But obviously we'd have to fact check that. My ball knowledge when it comes to Rugby World Cup history is not like my ball knowledge of
No.
Football World Cup history.
I'm trying to remember, but I remember there's something with Australia, there's something crazy like that. Like, it's a crazier record than you would think.
Then New Zealand, South Africa at home, imperious against the Argentines, winning 67-30. Which is also like a really good bad showing for Argentina. They've done well in South Africa in recent times.
Yeah.
No,
and
Australia.
That game really sort of cemented South Africa as the number one.
They're the front runners
for that point. Like, that was, they'd smashed New Zealand one week, then went home and smashed Argentina the week after. Like, it was, it really was big, and that put everybody else on the back foot. Because then, as they come to the last week, South Africa just needed to win-ish. They did need to win with the bonus point to ensure that, as long as New Zealand didn't absolutely annihilate Australia, or Australia annihilate New Zealand, I think. Like, either way, South Africa just needed the bonus point win. They were pretty much fine.
Yeah.
Which, shocker, they did. Spoilers.
Pretty much. And Argentina, then we had the final week, Australia playing New Zealand. Obviously, New Zealand needed to win against Australia, needed South Africa to lose. I think there was some bonus point stuff here and there. Lose by more than 7 points.
If we won with a bonus point and South Africa didn't win with a bonus point, we still won. So we're equal points with South Africa. Australia needed the win and South Africa to lose, I think it was. Like, if South Africa won, then Australia couldn't win. Only New Zealand could win. But as it ended up, New Zealand won with the bonus point over Australia in a very good game against Australia over in Perth. And Argentina, like, I actually watched a lot of that game, and that was in Twickenham, and Argentina were looking really good, and they were very unfortunate to lose to South Africa. But it was, I mean, both those games were quote-unquote marred. I know a lot of people online were quite upset with the VAR, or the video ref interventions into each of those. And and it did definitely have probably the biggest impact on the South Africa-Argentina game. Both teams had a player sent off after video ref review of upright tackles with head-on-head contact, and that the Argentinian that got sent off, that I think South Africa scored 2 tries to get back into the game at that point.
Yeah.
During that time, whilst I think Argentina might have only scored 1 try, if that, whilst South Africa were down a man in the first half. So, that probably made the biggest impact of everything. Was that yellow card, and like all of them, there was like, it's harsh and hard because there was head-on-head contact, but all of the ones where there was video ref intervention on it, they were fairly innocuous. Like, they were upright tackles, they were bad positions, they did hit the person's head, and obviously World Rugby is doing its best to try and get everybody to not do that, because that's getting to be well-known issues there. But at the same point, like, you watch them, you're like, that seemed just like a tackle that just was slightly wrong. So it does sometimes seem a hard thing of like, where do you manage it so that it feels okay, because all of them were, there was definitely head-on-head contact, like, that happened. So
this is the issue. It's not something I think you can blame the refs for, because the rules are what they are.
Yeah.
And the rules are what they are, because World Rugby basically don't want to get sued. They've
Yeah.
seen where they've spent years, even longer than the NFL, going on about how concussions aren't such a big deal. We don't need to worry about them too much. It's a man's game anyway.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. You and I know all about this.
Yeah.
And New Zealand rugby in particular, like, and so now they obviously have to overcorrect a bit because it's too lax. But I don't think we're gonna see a real movement in a way that will satisfy fans regarding collisions for at least a few years. We need the first generation of players who have grown up with the rules around health and safety and avoiding head collision.
Yeah.
Because that, yeah, sorry, go on.
I think the problem at the moment a lot, especially from, there's two bits to it, what you're talking about. There needs to be a little bit more education, and you say it may not be until our children have grown up watching that it's just normalized. But it definitely feels like none of these tackles were being picked up by the refs on the field. They were all video ref interventions after the fact of, you need to look at this. Which is actually useful for the video ref to do. But that makes it all seem very much like it's, in slow-mo there's slight here, but was it actually that bad? And it's like, hard. And so I think that's the bit, is trying to find a way where it feels a little bit more natural, which is not really the right word, but natural, that it gets penalised, as opposed to something's happened and then 3 plays later when the everything sort of, the attack or whatever was happening sort of died down, then the ref's coming back and going, I've been told to look at this thing, okay, now I'll review it and decide what's happening. And it's like, where does that line...
I don't mind in an incident like that if a player gets put on report.
Yeah.
Because it didn't get caught and it doesn't seem to be any further, and the judiciary can decide whether there's a ban or not.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's...
Yeah.
We have to... At some point there has to be a thing of like, we've gone too long. Or the video ref tells the referee while they're playing advantage or letting the play happen and go on, and the ref tells everybody, look, like the equivalent of, like, you know how in NFL the referees throw the flags, they let the play continue, but there's a flag.
Yeah.
So you'll go back to seeing what's gonna happen because you don't know.
They've seen something and gone like, we'll go check that later, and they throw the flag where it is, so that way they can come back and check when they've got a chance and everything. They saw
and
something.
Like, you'll know if it's like, oh, okay, they threw a flag behind our side of the ball, and we're like, okay, don't bother running, like, we penalize you. Someone was offside, or like, something happened, so we know it's gonna go against us. Or it's like, oh, it's in the middle here, something may have happened, we may as well go for it, but everybody knows that there's gonna be a review looked at. But,
and I mean,
at least with NFL, the clock stops when that, or if you go, this play that happened 2 minutes ago where we flagged, we think the clock starts from then, you don't lose the additional time. But also, NFL is a turn-based sport, right? Like, you can do that. You can take back turns going like, okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, take that back and we'll reset from there. But, and on the hand of actually needing to do stuff about this, like in the last week, more news has come out showing the importance of these rules and of these changes that need making. Because Lewis Moody, who was he won the World Cup with England back in 2002, 2003. Like, he's been diagnosed with, he's the latest to be diagnosed with motor neuron disease, which a lot of the English players, or a lot of rugby players, but there's several of them in England that have all been diagnosed with that. And I think that, like, there's a known link now. Like, if they played rugby, especially international rugby, they're much more likely to suffer from motor neuron disease, which means there is something happening there. So they say it comes back to why World Rugby's doing, and there's now like indisputable proof that like things have gone wrong. Things need to be changed. So
they've also had to pay people.
yeah, and they have actually been sued. Yeah.
It's not just the proof, it's the proof in your wallet that gets...
Yeah.
It's both the attack on the wallet and the proof that is both needed.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not even just science saying it, as you say. They are suffering financially from it, so they are actually being punished.
Yeah, and it's like a thing because your old school players and fans just go, oh, game's getting soft, blah blah blah. But realistically, you're not playing for as against so many fit guys as you did before. Like the rate of hits is probably far higher now than it would have been.
And the energy and the forces involved in each of the hits are greater as well, because the people playing are bigger, stronger, more dense. Things are happening at a faster pace. So there's more momentum going into every hit, more forces going through all the bodies that are being hit. So yeah, like that's what I mean. It's just what's happening needs to happen. There just needs to be also a way where
we didn't used to think about it back then.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate reason is...
Yeah, I mean the main reason is everybody just was like, that was a hard hit, well done, yeah. And you say now there's actual evidence for like, that's actually hurt them long term. Like it's them playing international rugby has meant they now are suffering from a debilitating condition that will kill them.
Yeah.
So. And kill them earlier than they normally would have. And lowered their life satisfaction.
Quality of life.
Quality of life, yeah.
Massively. And if you don't live in a country like England where there's an NHS or things to help you look after you when you're older, like it's even worse.
Yeah.
Like especially like a few years ago, if you're from Argentina, they're an amateur rugby association,
Yeah.
You can sue people all you want, but they don't have any money.
No, exactly. Or imagine, any of the island nations.
Yeah.
They already don't have money, and that's just going to put a strain on their entire system. The entire economy, really, with the extra monetary needs of these players who may or may not, suffer these conditions. They're more likely to. So.
Well, it says the evidence that you're more likely to get lung disease if you smoke cigarettes, but if doesn't mean every person who smokes cigarettes gets lung disease.
Yeah, exactly.
And you might meet people who smoke every day and lead a long, healthy life. They're the exceptions.
Yeah. Exactly. The very, very rare exceptions. And it's the same. Like I think it's something like with rugby. International rugby players are 15 times more likely to contract motor neuron disease than the general population. So, which is significant.
Like rugby in particular has pretty bad microconcussion rates.
Yeah.
Which is like they found club rugby players in New Zealand who are playing weekend rugby.
Yeah.
Were getting more microconcussion than professional NFL players.
Yeah.
On average. After games. And so rugby, you are constantly getting hit in the head.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just no way around it. Like, and I can't like rugby's a sport where I think everyone who played it will say, "Yeah, I've had a concussion." Like,
Yeah.
obviously, it's
Yeah.
like a skateboarder who will just say, if you've skateboarded for more than a couple of years, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, so how many knee injuries do you have? Not have you broken your knee yet?"
Yeah, it's like, how many has there been?
Yeah. And like just to put the analogy, like with the skateboarders, they are maybe breaking a leg or something like that. They're not breaking a brain.
Yeah, exactly.
And most of the like whatever else think about skateboarders, they know what the danger is of skateboarding.
Yeah.
There was never a question of us sitting there going like, "Oh yeah, this is completely safe." We're like, "No, no, we watch this because this is really dangerous."
Exactly.
like, like nobody wants to see a skateboarder get injured, but the fact that it is dangerous is what makes it an exciting sport, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes all the X Games awesome. It's not just the artistry; it's the risk taking,
Yeah.
the ballsiness.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
that's what you respect in your ex athletes.
Yeah. It's
And like I said, they always knew their sport was dangerous. They
Yeah.
never
sort of the whole
and
point.
and they always took care of their thing. And even skateboarders wear helmets to protect from concussion. They don't take brain injuries.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. Like, well, no, we'll wear helmets. We don't want, we'll protect our heads. I mean, really, come on.
And like, uh, I used to be a skater for a long time, and I skated in a time long ago when people didn't wear safety equipment.
Yeah.
And I used to like laugh at people who did. And then when I finally saw an actual honest to goodness wrist guard, I was like, I was an idiot.
Yeah.
Why didn't I wear this?
Exactly.
I wouldn't have broken my wrist so many times if I had this. And that's just a wrist. I didn't even think about my brain. Like, that's
Yeah.
so there is, as we said, a bit of a blind spot with um, the risks, but we have a really interesting rugby season. Obviously, the World Cup next year in Australia, and I think Australian rugby fans are excited after a long time,
Yeah.
and rightfully so.
Definitely.
Yeah, and New Zealand rugby fans, I think, slightly are a bit excited too, because I don't think the gap between New Zealand and South Africa is that big,
No.
especially being played. This is being played in Australia, and I think as a rule there'll generally be more New Zealand fans at games than South Africa fans,
Possibly, yeah.
and being held there, just because it's easier and there's just more New Zealanders living in Australia
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
than South Africans, though probably close.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close, actually. There's lots of Africans in Australia as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And we'll be following on from next year. It's double, not next year, 2027. So
Yeah, yeah.
there's 2 years. This is the cycle to build it up.
Yeah.
We all will. So there's next year and the year after for all 4 teams to try and make. It's a Southern Hemisphere World Cup, so I just assume these are the 4 teams that'll make the semis
Yeah.
in 2027.
Yeah, it'd be pretty close. I mean, yeah, maybe England or France sneak in instead of Argentina, or maybe Australia. But they say it's at home in Australia. Australia seem to be building nicely now, so they
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ireland as well. But
But
Ireland depends where they're at. Like,
sure, you're saying Ireland are not gonna just crash out in the quarters?
I mean, probably.
You'll next be saying Crystal Palace aren't gonna finish 12th in the league.
Yeah, sorry, I'm being crazy. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Moving on from the code of Rara Ball, as they call it across the pond,
Yeah.
we go to the Australian code, aerial ping pong, the most popular sport in almost every state in New South Wales, in Australia, but not the one that counts, i.e. New South Wales. We've had So traditionally you used to have the NRL Grand Final followed by the AFL Grand Final, but the NRL Grand Final moved 2 weeks later, and now
Yeah.
they come after. But NRL are absolutely toasting it because apparently they've had the highest TV ratings ever in the
Yeah.
modern way of measuring TV ratings. And like eyeballs, and they were the highest rated sport in highest rated TV show in every capital city in the country apart from Adelaide. So
Oh.
not just in Brisbane and Sydney, like everywhere people were watching the NRL final.
Wow, that's amazing.
I mean, the AFL did hit back. You know, the NRL has been pretty much promoting their stuff. They've got the most number of followers, most amount of influencers making content about their sport,
Yeah.
etc., and they're pushing it. AFL's been talking about traditional metrics. They've been having more memberships, more crowds. Some would say that's because they host about half their games at the MCG, 80,000 people, but
Yeah.
who knows? Who can say? Who can say? And also, like, traditional media is where it's at, not this newfangled television. What are we talking about? This idiot box.
Yeah.
The AFL, Andrew Dillon is 100% right about this. He's harking back to a better time when radio was king, and we were all better for it when radio was.
Yes.
But side note, sports on radio is undefeated. It is the best way to watch sport.
It is nice that it's very convenient to consume sport that way.
As like radio has a vibe, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're listening to sport. Like obviously cricket, it's unquestionably one of the best ways to watch to experience a cricket game.
Yeah.
Is on the radio. But even like rugby league, and AFL, they're all good sports, and NFL is really good radio
Oh, would be, yeah.
radio sport. So they, Andrew, I'm with you, man. Let's make radio great again.
Yeah.
Down with television. Radio killed the video star, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, into our regular season, we had Adelaide Crows minor
Yeah.
premiers.
Yeah.
Looked imperious, only losing 5 games all season. Incredible. Then Geelong coming second with Brisbane third. And Collingwood fourth, thank God, not winning the premiers. We had GWS Giants fifth. At one point looked like they were potentially going to make into the top 4, but they petered out. Fremantle coming sixth. Also another team that at one point looked like they were going to go pretty on a deep run, but they didn't quite make it through. Gold Coast seventh, finally making a playoffs after years of disappointing their I would say they disappointed their fan base, but they don't have any fans, so they're disappointed no one.
Yeah.
And now people might have a look at it, and maybe. And then we have the Hawthorn Hawks taking that final thing. At one point it looked like potentially the Bulldogs or the Swans might have pushed it, but they didn't make it. And before you ask, no, my beloved Ascendant Bombers didn't make the playoffs.
No.
They were almost in the wooden spoon, except West Coast were so bad, they only won one game
Yeah.
all season. It's almost impossible to do. You'll almost accidentally win a game in AFL sometimes.
Yeah.
It's so hard to not win at least one game after a season.
I see the one game they won was against St Kilda. And they...
Yep. Of course it was.
Yeah. It was like a high-scoring game as well. 108-80.
Yeah, and things didn't go off to a good start for Adelaide. They lost their opening playoff game. But obviously, they had a second life because they finished top the table. Geelong managed to beat Brisbane in their opening game as well, but Brisbane obviously getting that second life because Adelaide lost and Collingwood went through. GWS losing to Hawthorn, showing ending the dream. Sigh. And Fremantle ending the dream, losing to Gold Coast, getting a playoff win. The Suns as well. And then we moved on to the semis. Adelaide played Hawthorn, once again kept their bad playoff form, lost unceremoniously, despite playing at the Adelaide Oval. Brisbane getting a clean win against their Queensland rivals, Gold Coast. And in the prelim finals, Collingwood managed to get snuck in by Brisbane. It was a really great fourth. I believe this was I remember seeing highlights of this. There was some fourth innings magic from the Lions to bring them through. Fourth quarter. And Geelong just took it easy, nice and straight, beat Hawthorn. And then we had a final, which was unfortunately pretty one-sided for the neutral fan. Brisbane was looking good. At some point, it looked like we were going to get a Brisbane. It looked like the city of the new Olympic city is going to be double celebrating because they get the AFL title, and the week next they were going to be hosting their beloved Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp. And looking so congrats before we move on to the greatest game, congrats to Brisbane. It was a strong season. They always looked really, really good, and they got into form when needed in the playoffs. Despite their early loss, they managed to push through. NRL, we had a mixed season for the Warriors. They looked incredible, and then Luke Metcalf gets injured, and we went on a bad run of form. And we brought the Panthers back into form, unfortunately.
No, I think the Warriors definitely suffered from injuries through the middle to late part of the season, which really derailed things. As you say, they were looking very good the first half, and then, sort of fell off quite badly.
Metcalf looked like he was in Laurie Daly form. He was one of the best players in the league. And while Tohu did pretty good, it wasn't enough. And there was just too many injuries all around in that side. They lost to the Panthers in their first game. They came 6th. Panthers had finished 7th. Obviously, a bunch of teams towards the end of the season just rested their good players because they weren't able to progress up in position. The Roosters managed to sneak in 8th place. The Panthers 7th, Warriors 6th, Sharks pushing ahead to 5th place. Then the top 4 looked imperious: Broncos, Bulldogs, Storm, and the Raiders. Congratulations, minor premiers. The team that was expected to get the wooden spoon, but they clearly had more to offer. The Storm doing Storm things in their game against the Bulldogs. Absolutely smashing them. Panthers taking the playoff win against the Warriors, where Nathan Cleary had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Sharks taking the win against the Roosters, like you would expect, given the Roosters' poor form this season. The Raiders losing a very close game to the Broncos in Canberra. Then in the semi-final, Raiders lost to the Sharks in Canberra, and the Bulldogs got smashed by the Panthers in the Bulldogs Bank Stadium, the Bankstown Stadium. And then we had our preliminary finals. The Storm smashed the Sharks, just as anyone would expect. And the Broncos managed to just get it through from the Panthers. So we knew the Panthers dynasty had ended. 4 in a row. And we faced the Storm and the Broncos in the finals, and just like the Broncos acting like it's back in 1999, and beat the Storm in a close run final, like an epic final. Like NRL finals have been pretty epic in the last few years. Even though the Panthers have won, they've all been incredible games.
Yeah, and I mean that game really was the Reece Walsh game, right? He just was like,
yes.
I said it before with the New Zealand versus South Africa at Eden Park, but yeah, Reece Walsh was just not letting that game go. He was a man on a mission to make sure that the Broncos won that game.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
A little bit of also like, oh, you think Nathan Cleary's the best rugby league player in the world, do you? Interesting. Interesting.
Also another player that the Warriors have wonderfully released onto the world.
Reece Walsh?
Reece Walsh, yeah.
Yeah, obviously. We all know the Warriors juniors always produce the best player in the world.
Yeah. We've got the best feeder club. We're the NRL feeder club. We're the best.
Yeah. 100%.
And we're also apparently the nicest, because all these Australians come over and play with us, and then somewhere through the season realise that, oh, that's right, New Zealand's miles away from Australia. They want to then go back. And we go, no problems. Head on back. Don't worry about how long the contract is signed for. You go back.
But we'll still keep producing juniors, and we do have a really good junior roster coming up. And let's face it, we've got the better Cleary, right?
Yeah. And the reserves, they won the NRL Cup as well. So just proving that the Warriors development pathway is the best. We even won the NRL Cup. So
yeah. And also, just as a related note, the NRLW finals were also on.
Oh yeah.
And that game had more viewers than the final Bledisloe Cup game between Australia and New Zealand in Perth.
Wow.
So it just shows how healthy rugby league is currently in terms of interest. And it's one of those things, rugby and rugby women's are a different sport. I'm not saying one's worse or better than the other, but they feel like different sports. Almost to the point where I think rugby union women's should be officiated a bit differently to rugby union men's, at this stage at least. But NRL, like men and women, is the same. If you like watching sets of 6 and people kicking it back and forth, it doesn't matter what gender the players are. That's what you want. Whether they're girls or boys, you'll watch it, and it'll be fun.
That's what you'll get.
Another set of 6. Ah, okay, if you insist.
If you insist, sure.
We'll eat some yum. More rugby league. It's been a great season. Like, I'm genuinely excited for next year for rugby league. Like, rugby union for me still is very much World Cup based. Like, I'm obviously gonna be really excited once the international start. Like, once we have rugby championships, or we have the if once we have the international games starting, especially if, like, it looks like the All Blacks could regain the Rugby Championship.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, when it comes to rugby, I'm more of a rugby, like an All Blacks fan than a rugby fan.
Yeah,
If
no,
that makes
same.
sense.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I am more of a rugby league fan than a Warriors or even a New Zealand, like a Kiwi fan. Like, I will just watch rugby. Like, if it's on TV, it's like soccer or NFL or cricket. Like, I'll just watch it if it's on. I won't necessarily watch rugby union.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll listen about it and keep
Yeah.
updated, but
Like,
not
Like, obviously, if the Blues are going on a run and they're, like, playing against the Crusaders in a semi-final, which looks like they're about to win because they score 14 points unanswered, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go to the finals, and yeah, I'll watch that. But of course, inevitably, when the Crusaders get their third try, I'm gonna turn off, and then I wasn't that invested in you boys.
Yeah.
That, like, sums up my relationship with rugby.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just so we can head off some of the criticism at the passes, I will point out that the CFL season is currently going through week 18 of 21.
Right.
And the Hamilton Tiger Cats currently top of the Eastern Division with 10 wins, but number 1 seed, the Calgary Rough Riders, with 11 wins.
Right, yeah.
When is the Grey Cup? 11th November. That's actually pretty good. Like, you finish before winter.
Oh, yeah. That's actually pretty interesting.
And you still have games during Halloween and stuff like that. Okay. Like, looking at their structure, you just have semifinals and finals, so only the top 2 per division make it through. So I think we already have it. My Hamilton Tiger Cats, because they only have how many rounds left? 1, 2, 3 rounds left. And the Argos can catch up if the Alouettes lose all their games and the Argos win, but the Alouettes, Tiger Cats are through.
Yeah.
The West is way more close, because you've got obviously the Rough Riders have a huge lead. They're probably through to the playoffs regardless.
I would think so, yeah.
Even if they lose all their games, I think the Stampeders only just catch up with them.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know what their conference record and points, how that points for and against. I don't know how CFL works. Thank you very much. But the Lions, Stampeders, Blue Bombers are all competing for that spot, so we'll keep an eye out. We'll see who wins. Who do you like for the Grey Cup then?
Let's go the Tiger Cats just because that sounds the coolest.
Hamilton the oldest football team in North America.
Yeah.
The Hamilton Tiger Cats. I don't know. I'll go for the Alouettes. Go Montreal. Francophones, guys. Just see if we can get any Gaelic football results. Now, GFL only has 4 teams. Obviously, the traditional counties of Ireland, Donegal. Okay, so there's actually 4 groups. Oh, I thought there was only 4 teams. There's more than that. There's Derry, Galway. Okay, so there's 16 teams in the Gaelic rules, and it
I see
looks
there's
like
there's 4 groups of 4, so I think it's groups in each of the traditional counties. Yeah.
Yeah. But when does the season start? When does it end? No idea.
Looks like it must have 2025's ended by looks things. Everybody's played the games. Well, either that is halfway through. Looks like it's completed. Played the same number of games as last year, so that would suggest that it's done.
Yes. So their final was played in Dublin on the 11th of May.
Alright.
I don't even know how scoring in GFL works. But there we go. It is an amateur sport, so that's why it's only played in Ireland and they don't move out and about. But the final was won by Armagh over Donegal. An extra time. Cool. Here we go. I'm not gonna pretend I'm gonna learn any more about GFL, but we've mentioned all the oval ball codes that are played at an organized level.
There we go.
That we're aware of.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about sevens, but you know, that's fine. Now, looking at the final oval ball code, we're at the NFL. Your Bills actually losing their first game against the Patriots.
Yeah. Close game though.
It was a close game, but I thought the Patriots played really well, keeping that defense was very good at keeping Josh Allen quiet. And Josh Allen's looked like MVP.
Yeah.
So far this season. Like the season's already. This is Josh's time. Like the Kansas City Chiefs are not doing well. They might not make, you know, and Patrick Mahomes doesn't look like he's able to lift them up by himself anymore.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is injured for the Ravens.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is injured for the Bengals.
We might finally make it.
Your competition for, ironically, your competition in the AFC looks like it might be Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes at the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
Or Justin Herbert in the Chargers, but even the Chargers have looked iffy. So obviously we'll see more. Like the Ravens, Lamar Jackson might make it back. We know Joe Burrow's out for 3 months, which I think that's the Bengals season done.
Yeah.
Probably. And it's really bad. Like, you know, it's a bad run for the Bengals. Like they looked unstoppable in terms of their offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my early predictions for like the AFC North have all kind of cursed this division, but the AFC South look like they might have 3 teams. Trevor Lawrence's Jaguars don't look too bad. The Colts look incredible.
Yeah.
And the Texans look like they might be coming back. So the AFC, but the Bills are still good. I think Bills are still the team to beat in the AFC for me.
Yeah.
Though they have a big brother coming back, the Patriots.
Yeah.
You hate to see it as a Bills fan. The Pats suddenly doing well. It's like, no, you had your shot.
Yeah, it's our time. You go away.
Also, the other undefeated team that was left were the Eagles, and they got beaten in an incredible performance by the Denver Broncos,
Yeah.
who are also showing that they are a really good team. NFC Broncos, other than the Eagles, the NFC East have had mixed results. In the NFC West, you've had Kyle Shanahan's 49ers looking really good, and then the NFC West teams they've all shown something. Unlike the AFC West, where the teams all look like they're bad, the NFC West teams all look like they're doing something that's pretty good. Lions, once again, looking imperious.
Yeah.
4-1, and they're The Buccaneers, potentially the team to beat. Baker Mayfield? Baker Mayfield? MVP? He's probably him and Josh Allen are the two favorites for MVP right now. I think that's also the Vegas odds are the two favorites right now.
Alright, yeah.
To win MVP. Buccaneers are incredible. Literally won. All 4 of their wins have come in after being behind by a score in the 4th quarter.
Alright.
So
That's
literally
crazy.
Baker leading a last drive of the game into victory. Like that is your that is what your quarterback's there to do, making sure you win.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
about padding stats. It's not about getting huge numbers. He makes sure everybody in the team gets to eat, and he makes sure the team gets their wins. Like Buccaneers look incredible. Their defense looks so good. So to me, it's the quarter point of the tournament. Do you you changing your mind about the Bills? You still reckon Super Bowl for them?
Yeah, I'm still going Super Bowl for them.
Both of them. I don't know. I really like the Bucks. I think low key, I don't know about Super Bowl, but I think they'll make the NFC Championship game at least.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then anything's possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Should we review the week to come? Day after tomorrow's game on New Zealand time, Friday afternoon football, Giants versus Eagles.
Yeah.
The NFC East divisional game. Who do you like for that?
We have to go Eagles.
Giants
for that, right?
finally getting a win.
I know, but the Eagles are the Eagles and they're playing so well.
They are. They do have a few injuries, but you're right. Like I do think the Eagles will win that too. Jets, Broncos. Do we even have to talk about it? Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah. Jets are bad.
Yeah, Jets are trash, so.
Yeah. Jaguars versus Seahawks. That's probably Jaguars since they're at home.
Yeah, probably. That's probably where I'd put it too. Seahawks are going pretty good though. They say it is in Jacksonville. So.
Seahawks are 3-2. Jacksonville are 3-1. Jacksonville's defense looks incredible.
Yeah.
Their ability to get the ball.
Yeah, I think say at home defense looking good. Go the Jaguars.
Then we have the Dolphins versus the Chargers. Dolphins, yeah, they've only got 1 win so far. Chargers, they still have Jim Harbaugh as their coach, and they have Justin Fields. I'm gonna go with Chargers.
Yeah, I think go Chargers as well. Like the Dolphins have been leaking points, so I mean they're still doing well offensively, but yeah, the Chargers seem to have a very good defense. So.
Yeah, definitely. Ravens versus Rams. Rams look really good. Ravens don't have Lamar Jackson, so Rams.
Rams, yeah.
I mean, it's at home in Baltimore, so you never know if that... But the Ravens' defense is... Basically, if it was that the Ravens' defense was still the Ravens' defense and Lamar Jackson is injured, I'm like, no, their backup QB can go in and maybe get a few wins here and there. But yeah, while Lamar is out of action, I can't see the Ravens.
No, I say with the defense they've got at the moment, yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, and they've got injuries in the O-line as well. It's like, it's not good. Colts versus Cardinals. Colts are good. Cardinals are meh. So Colts, especially at home.
Yeah.
Panthers versus Cowboys. Panthers look like a team that's sore. Both teams don't look good.
No.
Let's be fair. Cowboys have managed to draw a game, tie a game, which already like makes me hate them. Just having a third number on your record, why? It's not soccer. What are you doing?
Come on.
Just play till there's a win. Panthers. I think at home, I think I might pick the Panthers.
Yeah, I was about to go Cowboys just because they seem to be able to put more points up, even though they're leaking points at about the same rate. But Yeah, good point. Panthers at home, so let's go Panthers.
Yeah. Next we have Saints versus Patriots. Saints are bad, Patriots are good, or at least look good. So Patriots.
Patriots.
I think we all, as I said in our NFL preview, Saints are tanking probably.
Probably. They seem to be doing a good job of trying that, so.
Steelers at home to the Browns. Now this one, the Browns, while they haven't had good results, they have been good-ish in every game, like defensively.
Yeah, I was going to say
And
their
now
offense doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Their QB situation seems to be sorted. So,
Right.
so if they can put up, I think even 16 points, they could potentially beat the Steelers. But Steelers, I don't know. They look good. Aaron Rodgers looks good. He's got their offense going well. It's strength against strength. Browns' defense is really good. Steelers' offense is really good. But it's also weakness. Browns have a weakness against it because their offense is still not that good, and Steelers' defense is still pretty good. So I think Steelers. We'll go with the Steelers.
Yeah, and Steelers
But
at
it'll
home
be a
too,
close
right?
game. It'll be closer than people think.
Yeah, I think so.
Raiders versus Titans. Raiders are bad. Titans are bad.
Yeah.
At the moment, Titans have just won their first game. Raiders have also won their first game ages ago, have been on a losing streak, but Raiders are at home. Somehow both teams are going to lose this game, I think. But I think Raiders at home, they'll just take the win.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think Raiders win this one just because it's at home. So if you're gonna take a win somewhere when you're trying to tank or whatever, or being bad, then this is the one. So.
Yeah. Next we have the Bucks versus the 49ers. This is the game of the round. Two of potentially the two best looking teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
The only reason I am picking the Buccaneers is the 49ers are ravaged with injuries. They have so many. Other than Brock Purdy, their quarterback, everybody else who's a star on this team is injured. But Kyle Shanahan somehow picks up a guy from the street who becomes awesome playing for him. But I think it's too far. Like, the Buccaneers are just too good at the moment. They look imperious. And they're at home. So expect a lot of cannon fire.
Yeah,
I think the 49ers defense is absolutely monstered at the moment. So I think the Bucks will just get through. Packers versus Bengals. The Bengals don't have Joe Burrow, so Packers.
Yeah.
Chiefs versus Lions. Now, the Lions beat the Chiefs 2 years ago to kind of announce themselves as being like a Super Bowl contender, and I don't think, even though this is at home, this is the game the Chiefs need to win. If they don't win this game, it's difficult for me to see them make the playoffs because their division is actually strong.
Yeah. You'd think this needs to be that game, right? This is the turning point, so.
Because the Broncos are really good, and they've got the Chargers who look pretty good too.
Yeah.
So, the Chiefs, they're in they have to win this game. The Lions don't necessarily have to win this game, but I think the Lions will win this game because they've just got standards. Like, they don't make mistakes. Their coach makes sure they're always giving it their all. They seem well motivated. Barring injuries. I know it's Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes has never beaten Phil Goff, so I'm going to pick the Lions.
Yeah, it's just that, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs being backed into the corner, it just feels like this is one they must win. Makes me want to back the Chiefs. I don't want to go against the Chiefs.
Mahomes has never beaten Goff. Mahomes has never beaten Goff.
He has, I know, but it comes down to how much the Chiefs think this is actually a must-win or not. I can't back against them if they think it's a must-win. I don't see how they lose, especially at home. So
You're gonna go Chiefs?
I'm gonna go Chiefs.
And you're betting on Patrick Mahomes, so I'm not
I mean,
price.
it's not a horrible wager, right?
Yeah. Then we have the Falcons versus the Bills. The Bills are good. The Falcons are meh. So go Bills.
Go Bills, yeah. And we're bouncing off the loss as well. I feel like there'll be a bit of a
Yeah.
statement needed to be made.
Yeah. And then we've got the Caleb's Bears against the Commanders. The Bears haven't looked bad. The Commanders have a few injuries, especially in the O-line. They are at home. Commanders have looked vulnerable. There's lots of second season syndrome. I think we can see... I'm going to pick the sneaky upset. Caleb and the Bears go take the win.
I can see that happening as well. I think I might stick with the Commanders.
Yeah.
Just to be different. And yeah, it feels more straight down the middle. But that could be a very close game as well.
Yeah.
And once again, it's in Washington, so it feels like giving the Commanders a little bit of an extra nudge in the right direction.
Fair enough. Cool. So that's our predictions for the coming week.
Yeah.
That was our review of the NFL, the CFL, the GFL, the NRL, the AFL, and Super Rugby, and the Rugby Championships as well. So we got double rugby goodness. So rugby fans, never say that we don't show our love to the 15-man code.
Yeah, exactly.
We only complain about the 15-man code because we love it.
Yeah, exactly. We just want it to be better.
Yes. And by better, I don't mean I want it to be like rugby league, which is what most people say when they want rugby union to be better. That's not what I want.
No, that's not what I want either. You're right. Yeah, most people when they want to be better and all their improvements.
Maybe we should have 6 again. I'm like, we don't have 6. What are you talking about?
Doesn't make sense.
But yeah, and we only complain about the Warriors because we love them.
Exactly. That's definitely just pure love right there.
Obviously, we're gonna start talking about them when they finally win next season, and we'll cover their whole season next season. But that'll be next year.
Yeah, well, next year's our year, so
next year's 100% our year. So there we go. So yeah, I think with that note, that's all we have time for today. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
Catch you next time.
Well, that is the end. Thanks for listening all the way through.
If you liked what you heard, we have even more. NineSixFourTwo Discord and a Buy Me a Coffee.
Pretty sure it's Buy Me a Beer.
Oh yeah, buy me a beer on buymeacoffee.com.
In both these places, you can talk to us, and we may even listen, especially if you do buy a said beer or coffee. I might still be confused.
Yes, we're easily bribed. All links are in the show notes below.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
This is on YouTube.